Welcome back to Dark Britain Files, where we uncover the darkest secrets history tried to bury. I'm your host, and tonight we descend into a tale so chilling it stains the very earth it unfolded upon. This is the story of the Caldwells, a name once whispered with envy in the hills of Pennsylvania, now spoken only in dread. Their fortune was built on bones, their legacy forged in betrayal, and the debt they owed, it could never be repaid, not in gold, not in blood, not even in death. Picture this, 1847. The Allegheny Mountains loom over the quiet town of Millbrook, where morning mist curls like spectral fingers through the trees. Atop Prospect Hill, the Caldwell mansion stands, a Gothic monolith of wealth and arrogance. But beneath its foundation, a sin so grave it damned an entire bloodline. Our story begins with Ezekiel Caldwell, a man whose ambition burned hotter than hellfire. Born to humble farmers in 1798, Ezekiel craved more than soil and sweat. By 1825, through deals shadowed in deceit, he amassed enough wealth to purchase Whispering Ridge, land the local Lenape tribes held sacred. The warnings were there. Workers unearthed bones, pottery, relics. The dead cried out from the soil. But Ezekiel silenced them. He ordered the remains ground into mortar, mixed into the mansion's very bones. And the dead remembered. By 1832, the mansion was complete, a grotesque masterpiece of Gothic spires and stained glass. But at night, the windows glowed with something other. The hauntings began softly. Phantom sobs in the nursery, footsteps in empty halls. Then, the visions came, war-painted figures in the corners, watching. Ezekiel's wife, Margaret, begged to leave, but Ezekiel, now a hollowed shell of a man, raved of being chosen, marked for a purpose darker than he understood. Then came the children. Thomas, their firstborn, spoke in tongues he'd never learned, whispering of the sad men in the walls. Sarah, born twisted and frail, wailed of flames and burial rites. The house was feeding on them. In 1836, a blizzard trapped the family inside. The walls pulsed with drumbeats. Ice crusted the interior. And Ezekiel, he stood at the foot of their bed, eyes rolled back, snarling in a dead language. Margaret fled to the basement and found Ezekiel's hidden journal. Pages upon pages confessing his crimes, the grinding of bones, the mocking of sacred ground. And one final entry. They told me my line would end in madness, that every Caldwell would pay. She grabbed the children and ran. Ezekiel stayed, and when the sheriff found him days later, his corpse sat rigid in a chair, face frozen in a scream. The walls around him, scratched bloody with symbols no living man could name. The mansion stood empty. But the curse wasn't done. Ezekiel's brother, Samuel, inherited the estate in 1843. He brought his wife, his 3 children, within weeks. James, 15, dug at the basement dirt with bare hands, sobbing, "They want to go home." Mary, 12, lit candles and whispered to flames, describing the burned ones. Elizabeth, 8, aged decades in months, her voice now that of an ancient Lenape woman. By 1844, the entire family was dead, each corpse arranged in that same chair, eyes wide, mouths slack. Part 5. The Vortex of Vengeance. The town abandoned Millbrook, but the curse hungered. Distant relatives, bankers in New York, historians in Boston, began seeing war-painted figures in their homes. Researchers who dug too deep went mad, babbling of the gathering, a spectral army amassing in the mansion's ruins. Even the federal government failed. Soldiers posted to guard the property reported drums in the woods, shadow warriors stalking their patrols. One captain, the lone survivor of an investigation, wrote, "It's not a haunting, it's an awakening." The curse lives on today. The mansion still stands, rotting, waiting. The Lenape spirits do not forgive, they do not forget. And they are still collecting debts from descendants, from scholars, from anyone foolish enough to tread on sacred ground. The Caldwells thought they could cheat death, but some sins, they bury you alive. This has been Dark Britain Files. Join me next time when we unearth another nightmare history tried to hide. Until then, mind where you build.